What's up, Chiefs Kingdom? Today's show is about a label that just shook the timeline. ESPN's Adam Schefter just gave the 3-3 Kansas City Chiefs an unbelievable title, the kind of stamp that flips a season narrative overnight. If you've been doom scrolling, take a breath. Because this isn't a eulogy for a dynasty. It's a wake-up call to the rest of the AFC. We're going to unpack why that title actually makes sense, what it means for Mahomes, what Andy Reid can tweak right now, and how Kansas City can turn .500 into a launchpad. If you love the kingdom and you want daily, level-headed, fan-first coverage, you're in the right place. And yes, we're still on the road to 5,000 subs, so let's ride. At 3-3, the box score lawyers will say, "See? Told you the window was closing." But context matters. The Chiefs are not your average .500 team. They're a heavyweight who caught a few jabs, slipped on a slick canvas, and still have the reach and power to end the fight. Even with uneven Sundays, this roster still has the core you trust when the lights get hot. Patrick Mahomes is still Patrick Mahomes. Travis Kelce is still the thermostat for this offense. Chris Jones is still the bully on the line. And Andy Reid is still the architect with mid-season adjustments loaded like plays on a wristband. Early season football is messy across the league. New wrinkles, new personnel groupings, timing that isn't fully baked. The Chiefs have been living in the margins. A tipped pass here, a missed assignment there, a drive-killing penalty when momentum was starting to hum. That's correctable, and history says this coaching staff corrects it. So when Schefter slaps a title on Kansas City that sounds oversized for a 3-3 team, he's not selling clicks. He's reminding everybody that pedigree and January proof still matter. And the Chiefs have both. Let's talk about what this unbelievable title actually implies. It says the Chiefs aren't just alive, they're dangerous. It means the league's most tested big game nucleus is one small hot streak away from looking like a completely different team. And it says if you're building a path to Vegas in February, you don't want Kansas City anywhere on your bracket. Start with the quarterback. Even on off days, Mahomes controls the geometry of the field. He reads leverage, manipulates safeties, and turns second reaction chaos into routine. The gap between good and Mahomes is still significant, and that gap shows up in December and January when film piles up and every defense becomes predictable. Then there's Andy Reid's script. We've seen it every year. Install, test, self-scout, then pivot. The Chiefs typically spend the first third of the season learning who they are, not forcing who they were. That's why a .500 record midway through the early slog doesn't scare me. It's a lab, not a verdict. Defensively, this team's identity is speed plus smarts. Window timings tighten in the red zone. Exotic pressures arrive on money downs. Young legs fly to the ball, and the veterans handle communication. Even when the scoreboard doesn't reflect it, you feel the structure. Pursuit angles are disciplined, coverage shells disguise intentions, and late rotation messes with quarterbacks who want clean answers pre-snap. The problem areas? They're not secrets. Drive consistency on offense. Finish in the red zone. Eliminate the free yards that come from pre-snap penalties and busted protections. These are boring, fixable things, the kind great teams tidy up as the calendar flips. And here's the hidden factor behind Schefter's headline: fear. Do opponents fear the Chiefs? Yes, because they've seen this movie. They've seen Kansas City average looking in October and terrifying in January. They've seen a 2-score deficit vanish in a quarter. They've seen the crowd at Arrowhead multiply pressure like an amplifier, turning manageable third downs into stressful, screaming chaos. That fear creates edges. Defenses sit half a step deeper. Coordinators call plays not to lose instead of to win. When you play Kansas City, you're not just defending 11, you're defending history. That's worth points before kickoff. So what flips this from dangerous on paper to rolling in real life? 3 levers starting now. First, simplify the pass game menu on early downs. Let Mahomes play point guard. Quick outs, choice routes, option slants, and rhythm throws that make the defense cover every blade of grass horizontally before we punish vertically. When the ball comes out fast, the pass rush becomes decoration. Rhythm begets explosives later. Second, commit to sequencing in the run game. Duo, inside zone, and counter with motion. Not exotic for exotic's sake, purposeful. Make linebackers declare. Use jet motion to widen flat defenders and open the B gap. When the line can fire off without thinking, penalties drop, and 2nd and 6 becomes your best friend. Third, lean into the red zone identity. Stop auditioning a dozen cute ideas and rep the 5 that fit this roster right now. Condense formations to create rubs, then sprint out to a half-field read that puts the flat defender in conflict. Run the Travis is the answer, plays unapologetically, then punish the bracket with a backside glance route or a leak from the H-back. If you're inside the 10, play to your stars and make the defense prove they can handle it 3 times in a row. Defensively, it's about complementary aggression. Show pressure, drop out. Show soft shell, bring 5 from depth. The Chiefs are best when they build doubt in the quarterback's internal clock. Trust your corners to squeeze windows, trust your safeties to pass off routes cleanly, and let the front hunt on long downs. Special teams? Hidden yardage. Field position has been a quiet divider in close games this year. Secure the ball, win the gunner's reps, and give the offense 2 short fields per game. That's how a .500 team starts stacking wins without needing miracle stuff. Let's address the fan vibe. Chiefs Kingdom has earned the right to demand excellence. That's what dynasties do. But there's a difference between honest critique and fatalism. The national conversation flips fast because it feeds on extremes. Either you're a wreck or you're inevitable. The truth, like most football, lives in the middle. What Schefter's label really does is reframe the season. It gives permission to remember who the Chiefs are under the noise. It tells neutral fans, hey, don't fall asleep on the quarterback with 2 rings, the coach with a library of adjustments, and a defense that gets nastier as it learns your tendencies. It tells our own fans, hold the line. The runway is still long. And here's something the media rarely admits. Teams hear this stuff. Players say they ignore the chatter, but the locker room absolutely feels the narrative. Being told you're still the team to beat? That can be oxygen during the grind. It's a challenge and a compliment wrapped into one headline. Zooming out to the AFC, nothing is sealed. Rival contenders will go on heaters and then stub their toe. Injuries will reshuffle power. Weather and travel will matter. The Chiefs' path is still about stacking wins in the division, earning tiebreakers against top seeds, and avoiding that one ugly loss that costs you seeding in January. Rivalries? They're still real. The familiar names in the AFC want their shot. But remember, late-season Chiefs football isn't the same as mid-October Chiefs football. Kansas City's scouting is elite, their halftime adjustments bite, and their playoff game plans are built to pull one string the opponent can't replace. If you're asking, can a 3-3 team still be the last one standing? The answer is yes, if that team owns the moments that decide seasons. 2-minute drill. 3rd and medium. Red zone on both sides. Kansas City has the muscle memory to win those moments again. So let's put it in plain English. Schefter's unbelievable title isn't a participation trophy. It's a warning label stamped across the AFC. The Chiefs are lurking, calibrating, and closer than the record shows. The fixable things are fixable. The elite things remain elite. And when those 2 truths meet, a .500 start becomes a runway. For the offense, it's rhythm, identity, and no more free mistakes. For the defense, it's disguise, communication, and relentless pursuit. For special teams, it's competence and opportunism. And for the locker room, it's hunger, the subtle edge that has separated Kansas City from everyone else when it matters most. If you're the rest of the conference, you had your fun in the first 6 weeks. If you're Chiefs Kingdom, you know what comes next when this group starts clicking. We've seen this arc before. It usually ends with confetti. Alright Kingdom, your turn. Did Schefter nail it, or is the national media late to the party again? What's the one adjustment you want to see this week? Red zone calls, receiver spacing, or pass protection rules? Drop your takes in the comments and join the road to 5,000 subs here on Kansas City Chiefs Today. I'm here every day, no drama, just football. See you in the next one.